I am Aaron. I'm just out of the shower, actually. So if I seem a little red, that's the reason. But I'm here tonight to do part two of my Blu-ray collection, which honestly, it's probably one of the most common requests I get on this channel. So I'm guessing you guys like the first part that we did that. The good thing about doing an overall Blu-ray collection, hey there, Chris, I knew you'd be here for this, is that basically it's going in all genres. So it gives you, if you're new, for instance, gives you a better idea of kind of the range of stuff that I like. Hey there, William. But if you've been here before, then it's, hey George, Danuch, welcome, man. I was talking to George just before I came on here, actually. He's getting an amazing collection. He sends me messages when he orders some stuff, and man, has he ordered some good stuff. All right, so I got a bunch. We can dive right into it. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before we start? I'm doing laundry today, so I got my freshly done Clockwork Orange shirt. So I'm always asked about what shirt I wore, so it's the Clockwork Orange one today, because we're getting into serious cinema here. So there's going to be a bit of everything. There's going to be like drama, horror, action. Hey there, Andres. A whole bunch of stuff. I got like box sets and regular stuff and cult and just a whole like load of stuff. As I go through them, I'll like mention like something about them. I'll say something. And if you have any questions on any of these, or any of these that you're kind of curious about, ones that you're looking at yourself, or movies that you just never heard of or that you're interested in, that's one thing we can do here as well. Last night, I'll be honest, I would try to make a video, like a pre-tape video, and I was going to put it on. It's going to be around like 18, 20 minutes long, and I couldn't get it to upload. I was having issues with uploading, so it's been a while since I've done like a pre-tape video. Anyway, so with that being said, first thing I got to do, and I should be doing this every time, is to give a shout out to my patrons out there, because you guys keep the channel going. Hey there, Flip. Hey, Mary. And that is Action Jackman, Brent, Brian from Just the Disc and Pure Cinema Podcast, which you should be listening to because they're amazing. He just recently did one with Stephanie Crawford, and it is a guide to some picks for the Criterion sale. I'm listening to it myself tonight, and I'm kind of excited. Dale, Dr. Mark, Mad Scientist, love that name, JR, Ryan, and Shadow Price. And here, let's dive right into it. That way you guys can like ask stuff along the way. But we'll start right at the end. Usually the best way to do it. Now, some of these are going to seem like they're collection-y, just because some of the ones I grabbed out are kind of like in a whole kind of like collection bunch. So we'll start it with this one here. It's a really good documentary, which I recommend you check out if you haven't seen it. It's called A Band Called Death, and this was Draft House Films to put this one out. Draft House does a lot of good stuff. I actually don't have enough Draft House in my collection. You'll see the other two that I've managed to get in the Draft House cinema. Well, this is a really good one. And if you have never checked it out, definitely, this is in Morocco right now, as you can tell. Hey, Steve, welcome, man. Welcome to the cult. One of the neat things about this is there's usually always like a booklet with Draft House, and almost always like an alternate artwork. But I really enjoyed this film, and hey there, River, and it's one that I recommend you check out if you like documentaries and you like music. Next up is a classic, or at least I think it's a classic, and that is Miss 45. Hey there, JR. And Miss 45, again, is Abel Ferrer. I'm a huge Abel Ferrer fan. This is one of my favorites. Now, one of the neat things about this, it is a rape revenge film, so there is trigger warning there, but it's not. It's not as harsh. It's not as it's you know, it's harsh. It's not as harsh as say something like A Last House on the Left or something like that. But it definitely is a brilliantly done one. Oh, pre-tape one is just like in between, Alan, when I can't make a full video, but I want something to be on the channel. Don't worry, the pre-tape stuff will never take over the live stuff. I'd have too much fun talking to you guys. And the only other one that I got from Draft House is this one here, which is Cheap Thrills. Hey there, AME. Actually, what's neat about this is I won there was this like digital film festival a few years back, and they were doing like a trivia portion right before the, if you went to it in Cineplex back in the day, you know what I'm talking about. They had like this trivia thing, we would answer trivia questions, and if you got it right, you could win something, and one of the things you won were like free tickets to see a movie. And I won free tickets to see Cheap Thrills, which was in the theater at the time, but I never got a chance to go see it, so I was glad to finally get it on video. I think the next few here are Scorpion Blu-rays. Pretty sure they are. And by the way, these aren't all going to be like categorized or anything like that. There's a lot of like all over the place stuff, just so you know. And it's not all going to be genre stuff or boutique stuff. As you can see, I've already started with the documentary, and we've gone on from there. By the way, if you have any questions on any of these, please stop me and ask me about them, because that's exactly what I'm here for. So we can all chat here together. Next up is Human Experiments. This was given to me by a friend of mine. I love the cover. It's a very different film. It's not at all what I thought it was going to be. So Linda Haynes is in it, and Jeffrey Lewis. I'm a big fan of Jeffrey Lewis. He's a great character actor. And I thought this would be more of like the kind of women in prison type of movie, kind of like the exploitive, like Sybil Danning or Pam Grier type of stuff. Not so much. Actually, it is women in prison, but it's a lot tamer and a lot different than I expected it to be, I guess. I did enjoy like it for what it was, but it was very different than what I expected. Very different. What's the best Fulci Blu-ray for The Beyond, City of Death, and House by the Cemetery? If you've got region free, Steve, I would definitely. It's hard. I mean, like there's the ones that were put out by Blue Underground, which are really good. House by the Cemetery, of course, obviously it's got a 4K. If you're into 4K, there's that, or there's the there's the 3-disc edition that has a CD in it, and I can't see you getting any better than the Blue Underground's like 3-disc edition if you're going to go for the Blu-ray. For like The Beyond and City of the Living Dead, honestly, I personally would pick up the Arrow video auditions of those. I just like the way they're done, and if you ever get a chance to get, I know it's out of print, but if you never find it, The Beyond had a crazy sexy steelbook from Arrow Video, and it's one of my favorite steelbooks that I got in my collection. But the film itself is just really well done. Blue Underground for the first one, for the third one, House by the Cemetery, City of the Living Dead and The Beyond, Arrow Video, but Arrow got good ones of each of those, so if you want to go and be in uniform, you can do it that way as well. Hopefully that helps out. Okay, one of my favorite like directors that I always like his stuff. Grinders Releasing put an amazing set beyond. Thank you, Ragnar. I forgot about that. What I think about Shameless, I got a lot of their stuff. If you look behind me, you see all those yellow cases right there? That's all Shameless releases. Did I hear back from my Severin mailer? Yeah, I did actually. Less than 24 hours after I ordered it. I surprisingly heard back pretty quick. He's right, by the way. Grinders Releasing did an amazing edition. I totally forgot about it, so I apologize. But Ragnar, thanks for picking up my slack. And as soon as you get it, you get this little like link right up top. You click on the link, you pay with PayPal, snap, you're done. You get an invoice within a few seconds. Well, you get like a no, actually, other people I think that were probably after me got it before. But yeah, they have no idea. They have a better idea of knowing who you are, PMac, because you actually got some cool stuff there. I know who you are, man. PMac's got a great channel, by the way, guys. Blind Date by Nico Masterakis, excellent film. It's weird. When I say excellent, it's my type. It's a thriller. There's a serial killer going around killing women, and there's the guy here played by Joseph Bottoms. I'm not sure if you're a Santa Barbara fan, if you ever heard of that soap opera, but he was Kirk Cranston in that. He was the bad guy in that. But I know him from from Blind Date, and of course, and from Santa Barbara. But Kirstie Alley's in this one. If you want to see like young Kirstie Alley nude, and you want to see Marina Sirtis nude, you want to see like two Star Trek characters naked in a film, welcome to your dream, because it's Blind Date. And Anyway, really good film. Keir Dullea is in this one as well, and a small part, but actually an important part. And basically, it's about this guy, and I will stop talking about this one because I do like this film, who broke up with this girl a long time ago, and it damaged him. The breakup damaged him. So he sees her years later, and he starts to follow her around, and he starts to spy on her. He sees her with her boyfriend and stuff. So one night he's in the woods and he sees them together, kind of making out, but the boyfriend kind of catches him, and he runs down a hill, and he goes blind. But they say the blindness should wear off, but it doesn't. Meanwhile, he starts to realize that the killer that's going around killing the girls is. Did you have this one on DVD? It's definitely worth the upgrade to Blu-ray if the Nika Mastorakis planned it. Yeah, definitely. There's like a great like featurette on here about Nika Mastorakis and his films, his early films. So yeah, I definitely think it is. And this was not an expensive one either. I think I got this one like in ready in Ontario for like $20. So, not a bad price, especially for like a Scorpion one. Hey there, Ron. But basically, he can wait for his eyesight to come back. It may never come back, or it may or may not. Or you can take this experimental thing that's going to give him like kind of a sonar thing where he'll see like kind of like like in the old days when they show like computer stuff, and it'll be all like green lines, like it'll be blocks. So that's the way he sees things. So he gets this operation done because he knows that the killer is going to come after his ex-girlfriend. Really good film, definitely worth checking out. And it does have like a music video on here, and a really cool feature on Nika Mastorakis, which is way better than I thought it was going to be, and a brand new 4K scan of the film. So if you've had the DVD, this is a 4K scan of it. So definitely worth checking out. Sorceress is next, and this is of course, this is it by, Brian Stewart, Jim Wynorski wrote this. So this is, if you hear the name Jim Wynorski and you smile and you're like, Jim Wynorski, I know exactly what this one's like. You're right. It's exactly what you think it is. It's a fantasy film. It is about these two twin sisters who grow up like kind of hidden from this sorcerer, from their father that needs to kill them to gain power, and they feel each other's. They have this kind of like connection where they feel each other's like pain or pleasures. And there's one sequence where one of the girls is getting seduced. It's really funny actually. Hey there, Aiden. So there's some cool interviews on here as well. The interview Roger Corman, Jim Wynorski, new master for the film. I remember this one from the VHS. That's a cool film. Next up is one that I keep meaning to put on my slasher list of ones for people to pick up. Hey there, Al. And Chris, I know you're here, Chris. Check this one out. It's called The Unseen. It stars Barbara Bach, of course, probably better known for a bit like James Bond and stuff like that. But this is actually a pretty cool one. Early role for Stephen Furst. Very different type of role for Stephen Furst. This one here is one of those. What was her name? Winter in AEW. I think her name is Katrina or something like that here. So Katrina, and basically it's this girl. She's like she's a reporter, and she goes up to this. There's this area with her friends, and they get a room in this boarding house. I'm not explaining this very well. They get a room in this boarding house, but there's something in the boarding house that's watching them, and getting them one by one. My friend actually had a joke about the Deathstalker films, and we love the Deathstalker films. Danny Simon, exactly, from Part 5. Made this one here. I love Danny Simon stuff, actually. Is it Danny Simon for this one, though? It says Peter Folig. I can't remember. I love Danny Simon's work, though, especially Savage Streets. The newer version is even better cover art. That's incredible. I actually like The Unseen. It's one of those. It's a classic basically, and there's another movie like an Australian film that called Unhinged, similar, but the Australian film's kind of slower. But basically, it's about like, and it's not exactly the same thing, but it's there's this person kind of, or the Silent Screams, another one kind of like that. Well, we'll get to that anyway because that's in this collection here. Next up is Murder Rock, Lucio Fulci. Again, huge fan of this film. I'd forgotten how much I loved it, but this is like quickly becoming one of my favorite Fulcis. I find myself going back and watching it over again. I know, it's weird. It's just, I like this type. $50, are you serious? Ah, that's the later stage fright. There's two stage frights, Chris. There's the one that was done by Mikel Suave, whose name I just butchered, which is a really cool like 80s slasher film. Kind of like a slasher giallo hybrid. And the one you got is a slasher musical. And it's not bad, actually. The only Fulci film you've seen is Zombie. Fulci has a lot of different stuff. So depending on the genre you're in, you're either going to be really like impressed or really not impressed with Fulci. Next up is another Lucio Fulci film. Grinders Videos have an Arrow sale, and 101 Films had their sale extended. Now, Murder Rock's not a musical. Murder Rock's like Flashdance with a slasher in it. I'm not even joking. It really is. The Psychic is a much more like kind of like reserved Fulci film. This was called, I think, The 13 Notes in Black or something like that. But excellent film. Jennifer O'Neill, really, really laid back in the murder department. It's not gory. It's not going to be the gory Fulci. So if you expect like Murder Rock or The Psychic to be gory, then they won't be. Like, you'll get more nudity and stuff in Murder Rock than you will in The Psychic. House by the Cemetery is a really good one. I always recommend House by the Cemetery. It's a favorite film of mine, actually. Claudio Castanelli, he is in Murder Rock, actually, yeah. And this one here is Silent Scream, which is also about an interior, based on video, actually. And this is, I hate this cover, but the movie's actually really good, way better than I expected. But what's even better, I love Strangers Pet Night. What's even better than like the movie is the story behind the movie, because this here has a great story behind it. This film, Silent Scream, that was made, it was made and then it was kind of remade with like, wasn't even put out, like they really changed a lot of things around. This is how much this movie here changes in its production. There's a scene in this film where the girls are watching a movie on TV, and the movie that they're watching on TV is part of what was originally part of Silent Scream, the movie itself. There is a fascinating interview on the film by the writers directors. It's really well done. Definitely check it out. And just to let you know, this is like does have a decent cast in it. You got Barbara Steele, Avery Schreiber's in this one here, Yvonne DiCarlo, who would be in, like, if you picked up the one Play Dead, from Vinegar Syndrome, she's in that as well. And of course, she was like Lily Munster. But definitely a really cool film, and one that I think gets overlooked a lot. I apologize for having so many like company stuff here. I didn't really plan to do that. It's just how I ended up grabbing it. But I wanted to do like some different style stuff. So Blu-ray player, play NTSC and PAL Region 0 DVDs. It depends on the Blu-ray player, Alan, really. It's easier to get a Blu-ray player to play region-free DVDs than it is for Blu-rays. But nowadays you can actually find one that'll play both, and it's really fun if you do. Next up is Olive Films Night of the Demons 2. I actually like this one. I think it's totally underrated. Brian Trenchard Smith is a director Australian director that I really like, and he does a good job with this film. I actually didn't know the first time that I watched this movie that this was a Brian Trenchard Smith film, but looking back at it now, I can totally see it. So Angela's back again. You know, she's doing more killing, and totally over the top, totally fun, totally a Brian Trenchard Smith film. So if you haven't seen, like, watch the first one's a great, like, classic kind of Halloween like style film. This is a really good one as well. So if you haven't seen it, the guy that did, they say, I can't believe out of all the Brian Trenchard Smith movies, he picked Leprechaun 4 to actually talk about. But yes, he did make that movie too. As you can see, it's not just horror. This is New York, and we got Henry Morgan, Rudy Valley, Virginia Gray. The remake's okay. I mean, it's got nothing on the original, but it's a fun watch. But I'm trying to remember if I watched this one yet. I don't think I have. I mean, I've seen it a long, long time ago. But Jerry's totally right. It would be just okay. But it's a Richard Fleischer film, and I like Richard Fleischer. I think he's a great director. And just before I bought this one, actually, we had like a satellite radio, and we listened to like a lot of those like old radio dramas. Like they have a whole channel like filled with like radio programs, like comedies and dramas and stuff like that. So I just listened to a Henry Morgan radio drama on satellite radio, and I went into the store and I saw a movie with him in there because HMV was closing down at the time, and I picked it up right away. Okay, a different William Castle one. A William Castle one that's knocked me in any of the indicator sets, George, so you might want to look at this one here. And this is a movie called Shanks. It's kind of a horror film, or at least we'll go with thriller. It's kind of a thriller. Very different, very unique, kind of weird. But it stars Marceau Marceau, who was like a famous mime. And you obviously not a lot of, recorded like work or films for Marceau Marceau. But it's directed by William Castle. And it's the movie he directed after he produced Rosemary's Baby. And if I'm correct, I think it's like probably the last thing he directed. I'd have to look it up to be sure. But this isn't included on the Indicator box sets that came out. Indicator put out 2 box sets of William Castle films, Volume 1 and Volume 2. This was unfortunately missing. But Olive Films put out a really good release of this. There's no features, unfortunately, on this one here. But it's a weird film that definitely worth checking out. All of these are in Morocco. Next up is the classic Tennessee Williams play, Summer and Smoke. Is that one? I don't think so. It's Olive Films. Do they normally go to print? Like, I don't have a lot of Olive Films in my collection. Actually, this handful here is what I'm going to show you in my collection. Again, this was another one I got at HMV when it was closing up. I love Tennessee Williams. I did a lot of Tennessee Williams when I used to act. So anytime I can get any like screen adaptations of Tennessee Williams' work, I'll definitely look for it. Now, here's one more the type that you expect on my channel, and that's Breeders. This is really fun, actually. I love this cover. And it is, again, Frances Raines is in this one, Teresa Farley. There's no like features on this one. Olive weren't good early on for putting features on their releases, but excellent movie. This was given to me, and actually, I always keep the notes. Whenever somebody sends me something, if they send a note with it, I always put in one of the films that they sent it with. So I'm okay. Meteor Man, Robert Townsend. Everybody say there were good superhero films being made pre-Marvel, and this is one of them. This one's really fun. I like Robert Townsend's Meteor Man. I like Robert Townsend anyway. What are some of my favorite Joel Schumacher films? Well, I'll say 8mm. I love 8mm. I actually do like the Batman films that he did. I know a lot of people don't, especially Batman Forever. I think that's way underrated as a Batman film. I know a lot of people disagree. I did like Two-Face in it, but I did like the Riddler. It's probably one of the best representations of the Riddler that I've seen. And of course, there's a few others, but offhand, those are the ones I can think of. But Meteor Man, if you've never seen it, it's really fun. It's funny. It's Robert Townsend. Robert Townsend does the film. He works on it. He wrote, directed the film, starred in the film. Basically, Robert Townsend said, if Hollywood's not going to make movies for me, I'm going to make movies that I want to be in. And it's really fun film. If you have not checked it out, please check it out. You'll have a blast. Here's one I saw in theater when I was a kid, and that is Irreconcilable Differences. Hey there, Bill. With Ron O'Neal, Shelley Long, and of course the great Drew Barrymore, who steals your heart in this film. No word of a lie. She's really, really good. You could tell just how pretty good. Actually, I'm freshly showered, so I'm feeling really good tonight, actually. So I really recommend checking this one out. And this one actually is an olive release that has features. So you got a commentary with the director and film scholar Bruce A. Block, video with Charles Shire. He's the director, introducing the film, making it featurettes, slideshow of photos, and theatrical trailer. So there you go, both of us. And next up is a Danny Kaye film. I don't have many Danny Kaye films in my collection, which is a shame because I grew up kind of idolizing Danny Kaye. And I would, hey there, Indy, welcome, man. You did. A very young Drew Barrymore in Irreconcilable Differences, which is a film I like. She always breaks my heart. She's really good at that. Whenever I'd be going out for a play, whether it was just a school play or it was or if I was kind of like a community or that type of thing, I would get some of the Danny Kaye stuff and I would do some of those speeches from Inspector General and stuff like that, and kind of to practice before I went in, because the mastery of the language that Danny Kaye had was genius, and it was really Gun Crazy. I gotta get Gun Crazy. Is that out actually? So this one was on the double, and see Danny Kaye is the. Actually, I don't know. I'm guessing, they might be able to print now. I'm not sure if it's. I really don't know. A lot of those type things come in archive editions, don't they? So they'll press on demand type of thing. But that's just pure guesswork for me, to be honest with you. I really don't know. So of course I have the Halloween box set by Scream Factory, but this one here has the feature film on it in here called Terror in the Isles, and I did see this one back in the day when I was up in Alberta, and it was incredible. It was fun, and I really, really enjoy this. So I would never get rid of this because I love Terror in the Isles, and I just love having this extra. I love the the artwork on this as well. I actually found that at a secondhand place. Next up is the Unnameable. And I love the Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And Unnameable, I would love to see part 2 come out. It's not as good as the first one, but it's fun. This was put out by, who put this out? Unearthed Classics. So this is MVD visual actually, and it's gorgeous. I love the cover art on this. Look at that slipcover, man. And do you have this one in there? On the inside is the artwork that you would see on the VHS back in the day. And it does have quite a few features on here as well. There's a commentary, video interviews, quite a few video interviews as well. And Laura Albert's in this? See, it's a long time since I watched this one. Well, I watched it when I first got it. Well, not a long time. Watched this when I first got it. And so I'm not sure who Laura Albert plays, but I just recently watched Blood Games from Vinegar Syndrome, which is an amazing film. If you don't have it, pick it up. But Laura Albert stars in that. And she would go on to become a stunt woman. But apparently Laura Albert is in the Unnameable, and I don't know who she is, but the interviewer, maybe she's a stunt person in it, or maybe she's actually acting in the film. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so the girl, Elle, that starred in it, the one, right, that does all, pretty much right at the end, the really good-looking one, was interviewed on the disc. She's actually in Unnameable as well. You still have both on VHS, that is cool. All right, so next up is a Canadian edition of Black Christmas. This is the Seasons Grieving edition. I'm actually very proud of this. I need more Unearthed, man. I think that's the only Unearthed I got, Troy. And obviously, I do need more of the stuff. They have sexy slipcovers and great special features. So this was put out by by Anchor Bay in Canada. Of course, Scream Factory did it in the U.S. And the neat thing about it, and what I do love about this film, is there's a mini Rue Morgue magazine, and Rue Morgue is my favorite horror magazine, by the way. If anybody knows, I love Fangoria, and I like Horror Hound, but Rue Morgue is kind of took over the mantle, and I think they've done a really good job, and I really like their editor that they got right now, Andrea. I think she does a great job with it. And it's neat. So you get this like full little like magazine on Black Christmas. That's kind of neat, eh? And that was a Canadian exclusive edition. I remember back in the day when this came out, I had to buy like 3 or 4 copies of this to send to some friends of mine that wanted it. You found Starman for $12. See, I was looking for it at my Walmart, but I didn't find it. Maybe I'll see it when I go into Sydney sometime. So next up is another Canadian edition of a film, and just kind of a fluke that they're both together, actually. And oh, thanks. I'm a big Clockwork Orange. I'm a big Stanley Kubrick fan. Clockwork Orange is one of my favorites. Lolita is actually one of my favorites, and nobody else likes Lolita, but I like that one. The editor, this was, of course, back when the guys were together, they did this one here. God, what's their names again? The group, the Vestra, no, not Vestra. Yeah, James Mason's one of the selling points of that film for me. Peter Sellers is creepy in it. But I love this cover. Like, obviously, this was like a newer film. It's kind of Astron 6. Thank you. This is Astron 6. You need to like save my butt there. But yeah, so they did like it has an alternate artwork, which you're probably more familiar with, which is this one right here. But I love this art, and I think it looks like this actually makes it look like I'm watching Lamberto Bava or Giallo film. Yeah, I saw the Midsummer collection come up there. It looks really cool. Hey there, Triple Feature. A lot of random stuff tonight. All right, next up is it's just not closing up on me for some reason. Gonna have a new case for this one. So, oh yeah, Crystal Lake Memories. This is the 2-disc edition. There was like a 3-disc edition as well of this one here, which you had to order from the website. You got to reverse it, man. It just looks sexier with that reverse cover. And I do love Crystal Lake Memories. Of course, this is on Shudder, but it's great to own. And this is also Morocco. All right, next up is one that I picked up in the UK, and it's from Second Sight. Like an earlier Second Sight release that I got, and this is William Peter Blady's The Ninth Configuration. I actually like this one. Oh, they talk about all of them. What they do, Aiden, is they break it down for that's the Landry, every Friday the 13th film, and they do it for the TV series as well. So it runs in I think almost 3 hours, or maybe even more, but it is great. Trust me, you'll love it. The Ninth Configuration is a very different film. It's unique. It's kind of weird. I love it, but some people don't. There's some great features on here as well. As you can see, there's like a whole bunch of features. Like deleted scenes, like interviewing actors Stacey Keats and Stephen Power. There's an audio commentary with William Peter Blady and Mark Kermode, and I like Kermode, so that's kind of neat there as well. Next up is one that is from Massacre Video, and I think this is my only Massacre Video release. Again, another one I only have one release of, unfortunately. That's actually a very cool edition, George, and it's very well done. And it's The Fiend. And The Fiend, for those who don't know, it's a Don Dohler film. On the film Vampire. I actually really like Vampire Journals. I actually bought that on VHS when it came out back in the day at my local Zeller's video. They had like an end cap. I still remember it. An end cap of Full Moon films. And I know a lot of people like really didn't get into it, but it's one that I personally really enjoyed. Some people thought it didn't have enough Radu, but it was okay. It was going in a different direction. So this is a Don Doler film. If you pick up Night Beast, for instance, from Vinegar Syndrome, that's also Don Doler. This is even cheaper than Night Beast. I'd like to see the Alien Factor get a good Blu-ray release as well. I got that one as a DVD. I'm a big fan of Don Doler. He's like he's a regional horror filmmaker. He makes like a lot of kind of like really low budget stuff, but he puts his whole family in it, and he put himself in the film. You got this guy here playing the Fiend, and it's a really weird film, but it's so much fun. And there's like some short films on here as well, like Mr. Clay Pursued, Horrors from the Id, and To Die or Not to Die. I gotta open this up because I'm missing your comments here, and I do apologize, guys. So I gotta close this up and open up again. And if you have not picked up The Fiend, really, it's if you like Z-grade horror and regional horror, if you like Night Beast, you're 9/10 out of 10. You're going to be into The Fiend as well. It's a fun little release. Yes, thanks, Indy. He's already canned today there. I'm working on can today, which is okay because I'll get paid better for that. And it kind of slides open like this, and this is the actual inside cover. I'm not quite sure, but I think this is the one with an extra film hid on the inside. Does anybody else have this release? Do you have it, Indy? Indy probably got it. Or Enready might have it. So this one here, I think has an extra film, like as a bonus feature, like as an Easter egg. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it does. I'm trying to slowly get back here so that I can actually... All right, some of these are going to be box sets before we get into... I actually really love the Subspecies series. I love the first one the most. Oh, it's Don Doler, Indy. You got to get it. It's so cheesy fun. It really is. I don't mind the other ones. 2 and 3, I don't like the mummy character. I really think the mummy character really kind of dragged the Subspecies series down. But that being said, I'll watch any of them because Anders Hove is in it. He plays Radu, and I'm a huge fan of Anders Hove. He was on, General Hospital for years. The first film actually stars another actor that was on, I think, General Hospital too, who plays Anders Hove's brother. And of course, we got the prerequisite cameo by Agnes Scrim from Phantasm series as well in the first Subspecies film. The first one's a classic to me, but they're all cheesy fun. Now here's one that I got sent by Arrow during one of their sales as kind of a bonus, and I didn't know anything about it. Alien Factor, that's actually, it should be cheap and to find and ready. Like, go to Sunrise and look into the bins, because I got mine there like for $2 at a bin. John Carpenter's Christine is one of my favorite films as a kid, actually. I kind of relate to Christine. I was a geeky little kid. But this is Skeet and Skeet? Skeet? Oh, Skeet. I'm going to say Skeet. This is really freaking good. It is a UK film. It's a British film. And I don't know. You want to say? I'm going to say coming of age. We're going to go with that, with a bit of action. But if you've never seen it, just check out the trailer. I actually really enjoyed this film. And it's a controversial crime thriller is what they call it here. Actually, I'll talk about trauma. I'll make a full video on trauma, but I'd say one of my favorite traumas is, like, I got to meet, I've met Lloyd Kaufman and the guys from Trauma. So I actually spent a lot of time. They were at the convention once, and I got talking to the guys at the Trauma table. I spent a lot of time there. Lloyd came along. I got to talk to Lloyd as well. A really nice guy. He spent more time talking to my better half, though, because he had like some stuff in common. He was talking about his daughter at the time. But because I think she was over in Afghanistan or something like that. And they're talking like, like politics and stuff like that. But great film. If you haven't checked it out, I mean, I rarely do this, but let me read the back. Because Phantasm series is one of my favorites, Mr. Chow. I always I always kind of like champion the Phantasm series. I'm going to be doing a video on the Phantasm series because I'm doing a video on like what I call like franchises, forgotten franchises. So basically, franchises that YouTube doesn't talk about a lot. Like we always hear like Halloween and we hear like Friday 13th. So I'm going to be doing like Phantasm and Prophecy and ones like that. So expect a Phantasm video in the near future. Okay, so still top boy and running a lucrative but underground drug business with his new gang. Things finally look to be on the up, but in this world, things rarely stand still for long. As a new threat to the hierarchy emerges from the streets, he'll have to go farther than ever before to maintain order. That's not at all what this film is about, by the way. This is a horrible description of this film because it's about these girls, and they're vicious, and vicious in in a good way, and like they got to be vicious type thing. Yeah, that description does not tell you anything actually about the film. So this is my edition of Pulp Fiction that I got. I actually do like this, like the way that's done. And it is done kind of like a pulp novel with, Uma Thurman on it. I'm like a Quentin Tarantino fan, so you're going to see movies from him there. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the remake with Jessica Biel and Eric Balfour. Jessica Biel is gorgeous in it, and I'm not a big fan. I know most people are. I'm just not me. Amazing Spider-Man, the 3D disc with the Blu-ray. I watched this on. I've got like a PS4. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is amazing, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood made me get the L. Abson bundle actually. Bottom loaded. Let's look at it. I went too fast, didn't I? I apologize. It's side loaded actually. So I'll just take it out and show you. So it comes out like this. And it's 2 discs. Highly like showing Uma Thurman there, who is gorgeous in this film. She's gorgeous in every film. Uma Thurman is just gorgeous. So I watched this in my PS4 with my VR glasses on because I got the VR thing. I'm suckered into that stuff because you can watch 3D, just all on your own. Yeah, there's a stuntman in L. Amps. Gary, God, what's his name now? I can't remember his name. I apologize. I talk about him all the time on here, but it's a stuntman that works in did a few of L. Amson's films. He's worked on a lot of stuff actually, and so that's the character that Brad Pitt's character. That's the guy that Brad Pitt's character is based off of. Quentin Tarantino wouldn't say it out and out, kind of right straight out. He would say there's a character in it for reasons I can't say, but everybody kind of guessed right away. Was it Gary Graves or something? I can't remember his name right now. But he was one of the guys that did when they did the poster for the L. Amson box set. When you bought the ghastly bundle of horror. Like there was 4 names on there, and one of the names is his. And that was one of the big reasons I got it, actually. So this is my better half's a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so which Hobbit one is this one? The Hobbit, the Battle of 5 Armies. I don't know which one. I haven't seen the Hobbit films, actually. Gary Kent, thank you, Andy. That is exactly the name that I was looking for. A great cover. Really cool lenticular stuff. My better half likes this stuff. I'm not a huge fan. It's got the 3D one as well. And of course, this is The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Ironically, Kobe, both of these here came from our local record store. So I think we paid like $4 for these, which is actually really cool. Hey Dungeon, welcome man. And keeping on the 3D route is My Bloody Valentine 3D, which I really did enjoy. I like this film. And this has the Anograph 3D. Some people don't like the Anograph 3D. I actually love Anograph 3D. I had a couple of box sets before I get back to the regular stuff. So this is my Nightmare on Elm Street collection. I've got the DVD, the big DVD collection, which I would never get rid of. But this is a cool one to have. Kind of a quick way to to grab that. The complete Scream collection. This actually came with a really good ghost face mask as well, which I still have to this day. That's how good and how well done that mask is. I like Tolkien. And I've read all the books. But my better half is way more versed in Tolkien than I am. She's way more of a Tolkien geek than me. 100%. Next up is the Friday the 13th one. Of course, this is a really cheap one again. I'm hoping for like a Scream Factory big mega set of this one here down the road. But until then, great edition to have, and it's usually very inexpensive. I want to talk about a franchise that we both really love here. It's right here. You met Neve Campbell? Oh, man. I got to ask you, Chris, does she look kind of that good in person? You know, Robert Englund was in Ontario, and he was making a film. So he went to this, it was a spa or something like one of those day spas. And my sister was there. Well, I was going to say my older sister. I've got two sisters. But one of my sisters that lived in Ontario. And when Robert Englund was there, he kind of went up and spoke to my sister. Hey there, Greg. Because he thought she was Neve Campbell. And yeah, I can see it. Indiana Jones and Complete Adventures. Of course, I have the DVD editions of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles too, because I love that. UHD next year, my better half will definitely get those. This is one of her favorite trilogies. This one and Star Wars are her two favorite trilogies. And you know which Star Wars trilogy. I don't even have to. Next up is the Alien Anthology. And again, I think about this at Costco. It wasn't very expensive. But great set. Love the way that they put it together. I don't have the cartoon ones, so I really should get them. New trilogy. Why, of course. I don't mind the new trilogy. We're big Star Wars fans, but the original is always the best. I just love the way the set is done. I haven't done that for any other set that I've done, but I just like the way that one's done. And I think you pay $20 for it too, so that's actually a really good price. Actually, this is one I won at a contest once on here. And this is the Ultimate Gangsters collection. I actually really like this. So they did two. They did a classic, which I would love to get, and a contemporary. So this is the contemporary one, and it has Mean Streets, The Untouchables, Goodfellas, Heat, and The Departed. So that is an amazing series of films when you really think about it. Like you got The Mean Streets from '73, Scorsese's, kind of like one of his big, what I consider one of his best films. The Untouchables, was Brian De Palma on top of his game. Then you get Goodfellas. You're getting back to Scorsese. What's considered Scorsese's by many to be Scorsese's best film. Then you get Heat with Michael Mann, which I think is extremely underrated. And The Departed, again, you get Scorsese redoing a film, and I just think it's really good. It comes with a booklet as well, kind of a hardcover book. Are the disc hard to come out? No, not at all, actually. The disc kind of come out really easily. And because they're Blu-ray, you don't have to worry too much about them scratching. Yeah, it is a great one, Dungeon. If you haven't checked it out, or you've never got it, just really grab it. It's a great set. The classic one is really good as well. The only Michael Mann film you've seen is Collateral. Oh man, he's done some great stuff. I really liked Heat. Not everybody does, but it's always been a favorite of mine. So where do we start here? Let's start at the back again. Last Mohicans. I forgot, Amy, that Mann had made that film. I saw that in theater, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I don't know why I don't have it. Did it ever get a good Blu-ray release? Okay, here's one that came from the UK. It's a great documentary. There's been a lot of documentaries done on this film, but I just like this one in the context that he used for the film. And this is Birth of the Living Dead. I also love the cover as well. I bought this from Zavvi. At the time, it was a Zavvi exclusive. I think you can just buy it like out right now. But look at that artwork too. It's a film about like about Night of the Living Dead, and it actually goes into kind of like the social political aspects of Night of the Living Dead as well, which is actually really cool. But if you've never seen this one, definitely check it out. Speaking of trauma, somebody mentioned trauma earlier. This is Father's Day, Astron 6 as well. So this is an Astron 6 film. Well, the Grinders Video, that's the Tampa store, unfortunately, is a ways away from me. And the Severance sale kind of like tapped me out for right now. But if anybody can, like this is going to, Grinders Video does some great stuff. And they're a really cool little like place to support. I've heard great stuff about them. Grinders Video, if you're in the especially if you're in the U.S., an unobstructed view if you're here in Canada, two great places as well. Diary of the Dead is very interesting. I got to rewatch Diary of the Dead actually. So this is Father's Day. This is a limited edition release of this film. This is 3,404 of 5,000. Okay, good. She's wearing clothes, so it's good. Very different looking cover on the inside, by the way. And it is, was it 4 discs, right? Like 3 discs and a CD. So yeah, so there's like the Blu-ray disc 1, Blu-ray disc 2, a DVD disc. Where's the Blu-ray? No, Blu-ray disc, 2 DVD discs, and an Evening with Smokey Miles featuring songs from the hit film. The hit film? Okay. Father's Day. It is insane. If you've never seen this movie, it's insane. This is one I'm going to say read up a bit before you watch the film, because yeah, some people going to be might be a little offended by that film. There, I'm just going to say. It depends on the film, how many layers it has. Yeah, I've heard good things about them, Jerry. I haven't ordered from them myself, but it's a company that I've heard like do some really good stuff, and are kind of like they're good when it comes to customer service. So 976 Evil. When I heard this was coming out, I was super stoked. I pre-ordered it. It was like super cheap. I think it was like 10 or 12 bucks, something like that when I got it. As a slipcover, and I said, okay, this will be like Sony will be doing these kind of cool like retro VHS horror. I actually really do like Land of the Dead. Manhunter is amazing. Like I 100% agree. If there was no Manhunter, there would never be any CSI. It does have a great commentary from England on here. Him and his wife, right? There's like an alternate home video version of the film on here as well. I expected like this to be like a line, like there was gonna be like more Sony ones come out like this. Never. There's never another one again. But definitely worth picking up. A couple Grindhouse releasing ones I got here now. So you're gonna see a couple of my Grindhouse ones. First up is one that I really like. X-Wave. Yeah, well, yeah. And that is I Drink Your Blood. First role, I think, for Lynn Lowry. If not, it's one of her first roles. But it has 2 extra films in as well. So it has Eat Your Skin, which was a double feature for that in the drive-ins, and one called Blue Sextet, which I don't think I watched actually. X-rated psychedelic shocker. X-rated? I actually haven't watched it. Anybody watch Blue Sextet? The DVD for the Ultimate Gangsters on 650. Are you? Is that insane? What the hell? How much is the Blu-ray worth? That's crazy, top man. Like that's insane pricing. Well, this is a really cool little set, by the way. On the inside, just look. Drink Your Blood. I love the art. It's super cool. There's a booklet on the inside. It's a 2-disc set. Unfortunately, Lynn Lowry doesn't get to speak in this film. You are so lucky to get the Django set, man. But there's Lynn Lowry right there. But like the feature, there's a ton of special features on here as well. Like there's audio commentaries on here, interviews with the director, interviews with like Lynn Laurie and Jack Damon, and trailers, and shocking film of Beskar performing the evil King Cobra dance, whatever the hell that is. I don't think I've ever watched that. But I did watch the films a couple times, so I do like I Drink Your Blood. It's the best film on here. I don't know what Blue Sextet. I haven't watched it. And that's the honest to God's truth there. Next up is one the guest is amazing. Dan Stevens, man, he should be the next James Bond. Pieces. As everybody knows, this is a favorite of mine. I love this film. I have the Arrow DVD edition of this one as well because I wanted the poster. Is there an app? There kind of is. You'd have to look into it though. I can't say it over here. But it doesn't really make you can rip movies onto your computer, but you got to have a Blu-ray drive. It's actually much easier to just buy like a player. It's really fun. I mean, it's cheesy and it's fun, and it's by the same guy that made the movie Pod People, so you're going to see some overlap with the cast. So this one has like the unrated U.S. theatrical version of here and the uncensored director's cut. So there's two versions of the film, one running at 83 minutes, Italian Dan, man, you got to check it out. One running at 86 minutes. There is a new commentary with Jack Taylor. The interview the guy that played the gardener. Like, look closely there. See that guy right there? So if he looks familiar and you're kind of wondering where else you may have seen him from if you've never seen the movie Pieces, then he plays Bluto. Exactly, Al. He plays Bluto in Robert Altman's version of Popeye, which I personally think is underrated, to be honest with you. Just to show you what this looks like on the inside. This is the interior art for Pieces. And there's the booklet, and it needs a good, like a special edition Blu-ray release, Popeye. I really think it does. All right, next up is a Peter Cushing one, and okay, I got the right side on here. This is Corruption. It's a very... Oh, Steve, thanks for coming in, man, and welcome to the cult. You're a member as soon as you come in, so come back. I do. I'm a huge fan of Slugs. That's a good call because it's by the same director of Pieces. It's a John Picard-Simone. And Slugs is actually a much, much more fun film than people would think. Than even I would thought. Like, I saw the title Slugs back in the day and I said, oh, this isn't going to be fun. But it's really fun. Never doubt John Picard-Simone. He's actually a fairly fun director. It's like low budget and cheesy and crazy, but it'll be fun. So this is Corruption. It's a Peter Cushing film. Now, as you can see, Peter Cushing is pretty vicious in this film. A very different film than lots of Peter Cushing did. I can't show you the alternate artwork for this because the alternate artwork for this one is a clothesless artwork. So it's as the actress, except there's no dress. So again, there is a auto commentary by Jonathan Rigby on here. Like historic interviews, a bunch of stuff, and other surprises, special features. Now, so I got to dive into that one again. I haven't looked at that one since St. John's. Okay, oh, this is my last Grindhouse releasing. It's probably the first Grindhouse releasing I ever bought. It's not one that you would normally think for Grindhouse releasing. It's actually a very excellent film. This is not a horror film or a genre film in any stretch of the imagination, but it's a Burt Lancaster film. I'm a huge Burt Lancaster fan. And I think this film is highly underrated and unfortunately highly unseen. I'm a huge fan of the stuff. I love Larry Cohen. I love pretty much anything Larry Cohen, even Full Moon High. I got that one in my collection as well. And this is The Swimmer. And if you have not seen this one, it actually is a really, really good film. And basically, like Ned Merrill, a man who confronts his destiny by swimming home, pool by pool, through the suburban nightmare of upper-class East Coast society, based on the acclaimed short story by John Cheever. I know it sounds like a weird film, but excellent film. And my dad is actually a big fan of this one as well. There's some great features, including an amazing like 2.5 hours like documentary featurettes on the film, and they even like have like the short story here as well, which you can read. Is the short story in here, or is it in the on the disc? I think. Like there's some great, like always great artwork and stuff on here. There's booklets. There's always booklets in Brightness Releasing. They do such great work, and I don't like showcase them enough. I really should be talking about them more, but it's been a long time since I've got a actual Brightness Releasing release, unfortunately. And you know, unfortunately, the guy that did one of the guys, yeah, Joan Rivers actually is in it. She's interviewed actually in that on that disc. I think you'll like it. Let me know when you watch The Swimmer, Andy. I really want to know what your thoughts on it. And a not so like serious, but I actually enjoyed this, is the classic Orphan Killer, which got a sequel now, or it's coming out. I have the mask for this. You guys have seen me wear the mask on a couple occasions. It actually is one of my best masks that I've. It is the best mask that I got in my collection. And that is the great Diane Foster, who is, by the way, you can't tell in there, but she is super attractive. One of the nicest people I ever met. She's a sweetheart. I do love Phone Booth, actually, because it's so cool and it's so well done. Because you got this movie, and basically it's almost all of it's set in this one area, and I thought it was brilliant. All right, a Mill Creek release, and a good Mill Creek release too. This is the Sun, Sand, and Sweat. So this has Private Resort, Hard Bodies, Spring Break, and Perfect. And those are some good movies, man. Most of those are 80s sexploitation type films. Perfect isn't. Perfect is actually based on a Rolling Stone article about aerobics that was being done, like the fad of aerobics that was being done at the time. But of course, Private Resort, I guess, is mostly famous for Johnny Depp was in it. Hard Bodies is actually a really good film. It had a sequel that was it was okay, and Spring Break is fun. Like it's exactly what we think it is. Next up is an actual classic, and one that I truly love. You guys know that aside from like horror, one of my big ones that I love is film noir. Yeah, me too. I almost got the Hard Bodies with the VHS slipcase. Yeah, I got like a couple releases like that, but the Hard Bodies one I'm tempted. If it's in Sunrise when I go there again, it's cheap. It was like $8 when I was there last time. I'll definitely grab it. So if you like film noir, this is one of the greatest. And it's Double Indemnity with Fred MacMurray and Barbara Stanwyck. Of course, Edward G. Robinson. I don't have any of the Andy Sedaris on Blu-ray yet. I'm going to get some of them. I got the DVD set, as you know. But I got to get some Blu-rays because they're such fun films. And what's neat about this edition of it is, aside from having two like commentaries on here, they remade Double Indemnity back in the day. You still need to watch it, man. You got to get on that. It's a good film. Like it made a 1973 TV movie of Double Indemnity. It's on here. So that's actually kind of neat. Like, I would not want to buy the TV movie on its own, but to have it on here as a bonus, definitely cool. And just to show you, on the inside it has like some... I won't show that one because it's going to be an alternate ending one. Stuff like... On one card here, it does have the picture from the alternate ending from Double Indemnity, which I will not show you, but so don't open up this here until you've actually watched the film. Because there's an alternate ending still. which I almost forgot about. But Double Indemnity, great release. And yeah, anytime, man, you can find the lobby cards and stuff in there. I remember that, oh God, I got some here. I do like my DVDs down the road too, because I've got a wide range of like DVD as well, including some Fox Film Noir and some of those ones that they put out with all those lobby cards in them. DJ Cobb, man, he's just a great actor. All right. We're slowly getting through this, guys. I do apologize if this is taking, find this is taking a little bit too long, but I wanted to do something different today. Hey, Elvin. Have Blu-ray region 2 discs from Europe. You need a region-free player. All 4Ks are region-free, 4K, but the Blu-ray that'll be in with that 4K, that's usually region-locked. So you're still going to need like the region-free for the Blu-ray if you want the access to special features that won't be on the 4K disc. But for the 4K part of it, you're in like Flynn. So it doesn't matter if it came from like Japan or the UK or the US or Canada. 4K releases are all region-free. Hopefully that's what you're asking. The best of everything. Hopefully, I'm hoping people like this one. Hopefully hit the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. I'm a huge fan of Maniac Cop films, and I like all three of them, even the third one. Thank you, Dave. So the Sect, it says Dare Argento presents, but he actually produced this one. This was originally supposed to be another one of those where it's going to be like a Demons remake, but like in the remake, sorry, Demon sequel, but it wasn't. And of course, this is what's her name again? Kelly Lee Curtis. So Jamie Lee Curtis' sister is in this one here. She's not in a lot of films. Now, I haven't seen a lot of films anyway, but the Sect is actually fun. I actually like this one. Oh, this is the Scorpion releasing one, so it should have been with my Scorpion releasing ones. Now, Dare Argento produced it, but Mikel Suave, I'm totally butchering that name, by the way, who did the original Stage Fright, directed this. And I really, really love Stage Fright. Next up is, I think this is my only Garage House Pictures, which is a shame, because the Garage House Pictures stuff is so good. Blood Island's long gone. That's one even I can't get. And I had pre-ordered it from Amazon. I made the mistake pre-ordering it from Amazon. A good friend of mine, 13 Wolfman, who comes on here sometimes, and he does videos himself, does some great videos. He ordered the Hemisphere Horror box, but it was sold out by the time that he had ordered it. So unfortunately, the Hemisphere Horror box set is gone, as far as I know. The Blood Island one is long gone. Well, the 4K UHDs, those will play. Like, I don't want to get you confused. The 4Ks, if you're just looking at 4Ks, like a lot of 4K releases will have a 4K and a Blu-ray in the release. And sometimes what they do is they'll put the movie and a commentary on the 4K release. And they'll have like a movie, the Blu-ray version of the movie with a lot of the features on a Blu-ray on the release as well. So that Blu-ray, that's just Blu-ray only. That's what's going to be locked normally. But the 4K disc with the movie and the commentary or whatever on it, that's going to be, that's region free. Now, if you just take a look, sometimes like all the features are going to be on the 4K as well, so it's not going to make a difference. But either way, 4K is such a good format because it's the first like region free format, and that's amazing. Next up is one, man, I don't think I've watched this one yet, or at least if I haven't seen it in a long time. It's Antonio Margheriti, and I do like Margheriti, and called Anthony M. Dawson in this. That was his like Americanized name, but it's Web of the Spider. Gotta love this cover, man. Garage House releasing that. This has some sexy covers. Some neat features on here as well. We got like commentary on here. Actually, 2 audio commentaries, 2 German Super 8 movie digests, Antonio Margheriti trailer reel. Do I have this one still here? Or is this one in Morocco? Oh, this one's here. I'm bringing this one upstairs tonight. So this one's getting watched soon. Web of the Spider. Anybody see this one? I like Antonio Margheriti, so I'm probably going to like it. Ah, the Leprechaun complete movie collection, including the really crappy one, Leprechaun Origins. Oh, nice! But you got Blood on Satan's Claw. I couldn't afford to get that one right now. Part of me is like, oh, we open up on Friday. Maybe my better half will let me get one or two more. She probably won't. But there's a DVD set that I wanted for my channel actually. And this has, you can see, like it has them all on there. The first three are the best, and actually the Hood ones are good too, especially the first Hood one. And actually, I like Leprechaun in Space. I do. I'm just one of the guys that like that one. Leprechaun Origins sucked. It really sucked. It really did. Really bad. But rest of the Leprechaun films, do you think it's right? Really? See, I can't get into it. And I think if they would have just do this crazy thing of actually have the Leprechaun in the film, I'd be okay with it. But because there's no Leprechaun in the film, I just can't get down with it. If you're going to call yourself a Leprechaun movie, at least put a Leprechaun in there. That's true. Actually, part 2 is the only one that does take place on St. Paddy's Day. And I do like part 2. Another Olive one. It's kind of over here for some reason. So the Deadly Bees, which is another Olive release. And I like those Night Run Amok films. Demons and Demons 2. And the Church. Oh, the Church is really good too. By the same director that did The Sect, actually. The Church was actually originally supposed to be Demons 3. But he didn't want to put the Demon's name on it. He said, oh no, the Church will do well on its own. It didn't actually. So afterwards he said, man, I should have put the Demon's name on the Church film because it would have done well. I think, well, the reason I don't like it is because it's pretty generic, as in like, I'd seen a lot of films kind of like that by that period of time. And I kind of wanted to see a Leprechaun in the film. William Castle did The Swarm, actually. William Castle got paid not to call it William Castle did William Castle do The Swarm, or did he do one of the other ones? Did he do this one? No, this is like Amicus, I think. Yeah, because this was The Deadly Bees. Because again, written by Robert Bloch, because half of these Amicus films are written by Robert Bloch, man. I say, well, you have to understand, like, Umberto Bava grew up, like Michael Suave and all those guys. Suave, I'm one of these days I'm going to figure out his name. They all grew up, they all kind of grew up together around like Mara Bava and like did second unit directing on certain films for Argento and stuff like that, and acted in some of their films. So it had to rub off. It really did, and he was a particularly like adept director when it came to this stuff. And I still think Stage Fright is Piece de Resistance. It's my favorite. Rico Suave. I'll get his name right one of these days. But this is actually a cool one. I like Killer Bee films. I do. It's a little subgenre that I like. And we got like a decent cast in there. Frank Finley's in here. Susanna Lee. Done back in 1966, but fun stuff. Okay, I got a couple like slasher videos to show you guys. And they're fun. Every one of these here is super fun, and I do recommend them. But you gotta like really cheesy Z-grade films. First off is Deadly Prey, which is an action film, and it's directed by David Pryor, and it stars his brother Ted Pryor in here. There would be a sequel to this film, like 20-something odd years later. Oh man, you're gonna get Aiden. If you have not seen the 80s like Stage Fright, definitely check it out. Don't like go into it like knowing anything. Just kind of go in blind. Really cool film, and it kind of just starts going, and it doesn't really stop. What really makes it is the kind of the mask that the killer wears is really good. Did you see the Deadly Prey at the Mayfair? It is so fun. It is so fun. You got Troy Donahue, Cameron Mitchell's in this film. Actually getting top billing over Ted Pryor. It is so... So basically, I gotta say, there's these like mercenaries, and they're being trained. Hey, they're brought by this head mercenary. And what they do is they grab people and they hunt them. And that's their training, right? That's their training to be a mercenary, so that they can work for the government, kind of like on the down low. I would have loved to be in there for a VHS, 24-hour VHS marathon. I would kill for that, man. So this guy's going outside, like grabbing his mail in the middle of suburbia. And they come up with their van, like in the middle of like a crowded suburban street. And, and they just kidnap him right in front of his house. Like, and oh yes, you do need to see Cemetery Man. It's it's baffling. There's a scene in this movie where a guy rips off another guy's arm and beats him to death with it. That's how cool this movie is. If you don't want to see it after that, if me telling you that there's a scene in this film with a guy ripping off another guy's arm and beating him to death with it doesn't make you want to see this film, I don't know what else will. But Deadly Prey, it's a fun film. You watch Tammy and the T-Rex. Oh, it is such a cool one. Next up is one that is weird. This is the 30th anniversary edition of this film. Arrow Video put an edition of this one as well, by the way. Hey there, Pinga. And this is Satan's Blade. This is such a strange film. Oh, but I loved it. Do up the body count, like the deaths in this film, they actually have this like nightmare kind of dream sequence. I love Heavenly Bodies. Oh, Hell Comes a Frogtown, Skyscraper, and Cool as Ice. I really want a really good edition of Heavenly Bodies. That's one of my favorite Canadian films of all time. And you know why? We all know why. If you've ever seen Heavenly Bodies, yeah. So anyway, distracted for a second. Satan's Blade, really fun Z-grade regional horror film. And yeah, basically up the scares, what they do is they put this nightmare sequence with this kind of this monster creature comes in and kills a bunch of people. Camp Arrow? Actually, I don't know. What is the Camp Arrow thing? Oh, I love Trauma. Trauma's underrated, man. Vinegar Syndrome does need to get on Heavenly Bodies. And get some, I want interviews, too. And Shock 'Em Dead. This is another one in the I sold my soul for rock and roll like genre films. And I do love those genre films. I got these like weird genres of films I love. I sold my soul for rock and roll. Killer Bees, two weird sub-genre films that I like. Tracy Lords is in this one. This was an early film that she did. Trauma definitely needs a Blu-ray. But you know, at this point, she had said, she'd done her. It is Tracy Lords, man. I'll show you in the back. She just got out of doing adult films and stuff like that, so she wasn't going to do any nudity. Like that was the thing. No nudity for her. Everybody had seen her nude enough, and she was trying to make it a serious actress. Don't think there's no nudity in the film. Actually, every other girl in this film is completely nude. Like goes nude, at least completely out through, at least for one scene. Last House. Which one? Last House on the left. Actually, I did like that film. It's not for everybody. It's definitely a dark film. It's hard to watch for some people. But I did enjoy the film. I do find that like there's some kind of tonal difference with the cops. It's kind of an odd sequence there. But I really do like it. But Shock 'Em Dead, definitely recommend it. It is so much fun. And it's in Morocco, which is a shame because I would watch this one tonight. I really do like that film. All right, so 101 Films is having a sale right now. They've actually extended the sale for a few days. So my 101 Films movies are here too. Give you an idea what they are. They're a company in the UK and they do some great stuff. So this is the Lou Ferrigno collection. It has The Adventures of Hercules, The Adventures of Hercules 2, and my favorite, Sinbad. What's it called? Sinbad in the Seven Seas. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, definitely. And it worked out for her too, because Tracy Lords actually is a really good actress, and definitely her career has definitely succeeded. Now this is really cool. Lou Ferrigno does a great job in these. Lou Ferrigno is a family guy, just to let you guys know. So like Sybil Danning's in one of these films, and originally she was supposed to be nude and all that type of stuff. But Lou Ferrigno stood his ground. He said, there's not going to be any nudity in these films. I want kids to be able to come and see my movies. And as much as I would love to see Sybil Danning nude in the film, I understand, and I'm impressed by that fact that he did that. Hey, welcome back, Wolf. Oh, you changed your channel up. Oh, wow. Uh, so, and just to let you know, these aren't like put on one disc or anything like this. Every one of these gets their own disc. So that's really neat. Like if you get like a 3-pack of like from this is 101 Films, and they are having a sale right now. Like some of their films are as low as £5 or £6 actually. I don't think I have actually, Pinga. So I'll actually, if it's online, I'll look for it later. Next up is Firewalker. Are these region locked? That's a great question, actually. Let me just check here. Because I think some are and some aren't. Does it say here? The inside? Yeah, it looks like these here are all region B. So if you can play region free, then you're good there. And I will, if any of these are region free, I will say. Let me just check right now. Pretty much almost everyone I got here looks to be region B. So just just to let you know for the 101 Films. But if you can play them, like it's a really cheap way to get some great cult releases. Firewalker with Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr. Again, I actually like that film. But I grew up in the day. Like my better half's a huge fan of this type of stuff. I'll get the new release coming out of this movie, but I got this release here for like $6. So £6. That is a split second. It's Rutger Hauer film. I actually really like this film. It's kind of a cool like. This wasn't initially supposed to be. This went through so many like. I hope that. I like their packaging actually. I like the way that they package their stuff. They have different ones done. You have to understand the 101 Films, the cult movie collection. That's their lower rent stuff. So basically, that's the cheaper stuff. Penga. So they also have like they have different labels, and you'll see as we go through. And the other one is Double Dragon. 29. Which of your vendors in Nepal to go through next? Unmasked Part 25, Spookies, or Flesh Eating Mothers. Unmasked Part 25 is really good, or I'd say Unmasked Part 25 or Spookies. Indy, have a great night there, man. I'm slowly getting through. I'm almost done. This I really like this one. How much did I like this one? When MVD Rewind put this out again with like a bunch of special features, I picked it up. But I wanted to get this edition first so that I actually would know for sure that I wanted it. Now they do these here, these red label editions too, and I love the red label editions. So this is the red label edition of Stone Cold, and that's with Brian Bosworth. I really like this film actually, and I love the cover. And cast-wise, man, like Lance Henriksen and William Forsythe are both in this film. No, it's an action film. Oh yeah, Double Dragon started as a video game, man. And this one has like the poster, and it's one of my favorite posters that I got in any release because I just like the way it's done. It actually looks like a movie store poster. A layer in a warehouse. I can't remember. That's not Split Second, is it? And last but definitely not least is Amazon Women on the Moon. I love this edition of the film. Again, like they got a booklet in here. It's a 2-disc edition. There's a bunch of features on this one. There's audio commentary with Mondo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson. Aside from the booklet, there's an interview with Daniel Pearl. Of course, he did he was the cinematographer, and he also he shot like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Both versions, and there's like all the skits that were cut out of it are on here. Oh, you haven't? Oh, triple feature, man! You gotta check this out. It's a comedy, and it's a skit comedy. There's like a bunch of these done back to way. This one is region. Actually, it might be region free. Actually, it says region code B, but sometimes that's not true. I would have to look. I know some people go online and they'll find out, but I haven't watched this in a while, so I don't know. So I can't tell you for sure. I know there is like a region A edition of this one as well, but I just really love this one. And this is a favorite film of mine. Sybil Danning's in this one. This, directed by Joe Dante, Carl Gottlieb, Peter Horton, John Landis, Robert K. Wise. I do have SpiderMan the complete series, only released on DVD actually. My cousin got it for me for Christmas one year. It was a surprise. Next up is one by, who put this one out? Cinelicious Picks, and I've only got this one of them. And I guess eventually I'm hoping to get the Criterion release of all this girl's work. And that is Agnes Varga, and it's like a double bill of hers. 2 films by Agnes Varga. And that is Jane B. Parr, Agnes V, and Kung Fu Master. And that's, no, it's not like a Kung Fu film. This is also in Morocco right now. All right, just got a few more to go before we end this video here. I'll leave like a little section for like a Q&A if you have any questions you want to ask after this. This one I got my better half. Like I said, she's a huge Lord of the Rings fan. We got the all the big DVD editions and stuff like that, but we also got this here, Lord of the Rings, the motion picture trilogy extended editions. And like they're very well done. Like there's like 5 discs for each one of these here. And 2 discs will be the Blu-ray, and then it'll be like 3 discs for the appendices as well. And it is extremely well done, I gotta say. They put there's like maps and everything in here as well, so just really cool stuff. If you're a fan of like Lord of the Rings, you owe it to yourself to grab the extended editions, because it is really, it is really well done. And if you're going to watch these movies, this is the way to watch it. All right. So this is a bare bones of a trilogy of it, but I'm keeping this because I think this is a North American or Canadian release, and I'll grab the. I'm going to grab the. I got the big edition of the first film, but I need to get the Scream Factories of 2 and 3. And that is the RoboCop trilogy. I do like all the RoboCop films, and I did like the TV series. Sue me, I like the TV series as well, and I really like those like Dark Justice movies. But it is, it's for what it's done. I mean, like it's all, each of them gets their own disc. Finally seeing a Western. What do I like, RoboCop or Terminator? It's hard. They're both very different. I see Terminator as like, Terminator 2 is one of the greatest action films ever made, like in my not so humble opinion. And Terminator is a great like action horror film, like great sci-fi horror film. But RoboCop is like, it's like satirical action sci-fi, at its best. So I can't really compare them. Was it really where you worked at? I recognized it right away because I used to live in Toronto Dungeon. So as soon as they started like showing it and with Pugface Morgan and all that stuff, I knew right away where they're shooting it. So this is the Magnificent Seven collection. It's got like all the films on here: Magnificent Seven, Return of the Magnificent Seven, Guns of the Magnificent Seven, and the Magnificent Seven Ride Again. Yeah, there was a short-lived Canadian RoboCop TV series. But I'm a huge Magnificent Seven fan. The first film is actually one of my favorite Westerns of all time, and I can watch it anytime. I can understand. You're forgiving it there. Due South. I love Due South too. I got to get that series. Wait, I do have that series. Sorry. I actually got all seasons of the series Due South. And there's like a bunch of features on the first Magnificent Seven one as well. The Prime Directive. I don't have the Prime. Wait, actually, I might have part of the Prime Directive. I don't think I got it all though. Colossus for an unofficial prequel to Terminator. I could see that actually. I never thought of it that way before though. Exorcist. I love this edition of it. This one I bought at Costco. And I love the way this is done. Of course, this is the extended director's cut. The original. Man, you gotta love the original. It is so good. Long Riders is a good film, man. And there's some great stuff on there. We got the extended director's cut, the original theatrical cut of it, and the special features are on the third disc. There's 3 discs, and there's even like a kind of a little hardcover book, kind of a portion of the Friedkin book that he did, talking about the Exorcist film on here. Got some great pictures and like some kind of cool write-ups. And what's neat, it comes with a letter from director Friedkin too. So that's, it's a nice little touch. It's an Exorcist box set. Well, they put up part 3, and they put up part 2. Were you really born in the street from the stairwell? That's actually kind of cool, man. Did you ever get like a picture taken there? Speaking of Terminator, I got part 2 on 4K as well. I don't think I got part 1. But I did get this one here. This is a Terminator Anthology set. This is probably super cheap to buy nowadays. I'm not quite sure how many Terminator sets were ever put out there. Probably a lot. But anyway, I'll take it out to show you guys anyway. So there's the... I'm guessing this is probably the one that everybody's got. And at the time, it was just up to Terminator Salvation. So it was only the first 4. So this was a Lionsgate release, and this is all embossed, which is kind of cool. Is this the one that everybody bought? So is this everybody's Terminator edition, or is there a better edition out there that I don't know about, that I don't have? So this was a Studio Canal. Thank you, George. Teacher from Christmas Story, really? All right. This is one some people like, some people don't. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. This was the big edition that came out with the 3D one. Ben Francie, but what? And it's a hard case edition. Really nice, really well done. There you go. I got the 3D one and the regular, and like the bonus discs as well. Actually, I actually like Rian Johnson, so I'll always be someone that'll talk good about his films. I did enjoy The Last Jedi. A lot of people didn't, and I understand, but I think they went a little too far with the hate for it. But I personally like the fact that they did something different with the franchise, and I was a little bit disappointed. No, sorry, Last Jedi, right? I like The Last Jedi, but I was a little bit disappointed that it went away from what Rian Johnson did before, because it felt like they're going away and doing some different stuff. Hey there, Action Jackman. She enjoyed it at the beginning of this one here, by the way. You like Mr. Oh, did you really? There was like a little bit thing where made me go a bit to the side, but actually I really enjoyed it. Me and Heath we're supposed to do some more stuff together soon, so well, in the near future. But hopefully we'll eventually we'll figure out something to do together. I really enjoyed working with Heath. He's a really nice guy. All right, here's some randoms, guys. We're getting near the end here. I like the first Strangers. It actually scared me because I lived in an area for a while where I was out in the middle of nowhere and nobody was around me. Fingers crossed it gets bigger and bigger, Pinga. I'm glad that there's more people like kind of coming in and seeing it, but I've been blessed all along to have like just some really good people. If more people find it, that's fantastic. Because we get more people to talk about, more people in the cult, and it's always a good thing. I hope you guys listened to the latest podcast that I did with Just This with Brian, and there's another one out there now with Stephanie, which is really amazing. Which I'm listening to tonight actually. See, I can't think of like them or Ils, I guess it was called in French, and the Strangers, and see them like even being remotely similar. Because they're such like people say, okay, well, one kind of inspired the other type of thing, but they're very different films. I mean, like Strangers is pretty much it's about like the killers come, and they attack, and in the other one, the killers come and attack as the two, but it's very different. Heath is great. I mean, I gotta say, he's got a great channel. And a great website as well. SpiderMan, it's not just a YouTube channel, there's a website as well. And I actually found the website channel around the same time that I found his YouTube channel. But we've been like over a year, or maybe almost 2 years, we were going to do something together. And he was like, you want to do something now? Like we don't have need a topic, we just talk. So we did. Second Sight did tease a Stranger's release, and although I do have it, if they put a really sexy release, I may have to double dip on that. This is Laura, and of course, this is Auto Preminger. It's a classic, kind of like I guess we'll call it a film noir. It was in the Fox Film Noir collection. I do have it on DVD here as well. Next up is a James Bond film that you won't find in the James Bond, any of the James Bond sets, Bond 50 or otherwise, and that is the Bond Never Say Never Again. This was a collector's edition. For a while, this was hard to get for some reason. I think it's easy to get now again. But for a while, this was a harder one to get. That is the lovely Kim Basinger right there. See, I like this. It's very different. But it had to be different. You have to understand that it had to be different because there were Bond tropes within the Bond series. Oh, have a great night, Triple Feature. You got most of it anyway. So we've only got a handful here to go. But this is a cool one. It's got Rowan Atkinson too, which is actually kind of neat. And Bernie Casey, Barbara Carrera, Max von Sydow. Great cast. All right. Next up is a Canadian film. I was very excited to get this film. I actually found this one at a Dollarama. And it is, I haven't had to find it this, but it's a VSC put this one out. And this is Face Off with Art Hindle. And Art Hindle was like, he was in the movie Black Christmas, the 1974 movie Black Christmas, and he did a cool TV show. It's a Canadian film, eh? I don't sound right saying A, do I? I hate that. I mean, like, I should. But what's neat about this, aside from having like the films, like, of course, it's a hockey film, it's Canadian. SCTV did like a parody of the film on their channel, and they actually include the SCTV parody on there, and that's brilliant. If you've never seen SCTV, get on that. Strangers Pray at Night is amazing. There's a Blu-ray DVD edition of this. I just love Face Off. I really do. I like hockey though, because I'm Canadian. Stereotype. And of course the pool scene is one of the best sequences. Well, it is the best sequence of Strangers Pray at Night. Though the opening sequence is actually pretty good as well. The Legend of Billie Jean. Do you really remember the parody? I love SCTV. I gotta rewatch that actually. So I got one box set of SCTV, which I'm gonna bring upstairs tonight. Thank you for reminding me. Trucks at the end is great. Oh, it is such a, like, Strangers Prey Night I saw in theater, guys. The Legend of Billie Jean, the special fair edition. So what does that mean? It's got a commentary track with Helen Slater and Yeardley Smith. So it is a Mill Creek release with a commentary track, which is actually pretty cool. This is before she cuts her hair. A great cast: Yeardley Smith, Christian Slater, Peter Coyote, Keith Gordon, you know, the guy from Christine. And I was asked earlier about Christine. Really cool film, great soundtrack. Yep, Yeardley Smith from The Simpsons. She's in this, and if you got, Brian, if you got the movie Maximum Overdrive, she's in that as well. She's like one of the newlyweds. We watched Strangers Prey Night. Now this one I got at a Dollarama. I was really surprised to find this one at a Dollarama, but it is it's a favorite of mine, and is there you go. Y tu mamá también. Yes, she does do Lisa's voice. But she did like a few films. Like she even did one film I saw. What was the name of it? Where actually Yeardley Smith did like nudity. So there's that too. Like, but I can't remember the name of the film right now. Excellent film, by the way. Alfonso Cuarón. And I got to upgrade to the Criterion put an edition of this. I got to upgrade to that. Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic film. Yep. I haven't found any really good films at Dollarama in ages, but I remember finding that one. Criterion sales. I can't get into the Criterion sale this time, man. I really can't. I wish I could. Maybe in November though. I enjoyed this one here. I like Donald Sutherland a lot. I like Dominique. I really did. Let me know what you think of it when you watch it. It's a Southern Gothic, it's a bit of thriller. It's not really strong. It's a thriller. Runs a little bit slower, but great actors. Jenny Agutter is in it, and I really enjoyed it. I really did. Let me know what you think of it. That's Lock Up with Sylvester Stallone. See, I told you there's going to be a bit of everything here. And you know what made this movie? Like, Stallone's great in this film, but Donald Sutherland, as kind of the evil warden guy, makes the film. And last but not least, this was one that was a big deal for me to get because I love musicals. This is probably not the best musical. I know it's not the best musical, but it's one that I like to watch every once in a while. I saw this in theater back in the day, so don't judge me too badly. And it is Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John, and I actually think she looks better here than she did in Grease. She's actually gorgeous here. Gene Kelly's in this one, dancing. Incredible, Michael Beck, and of course it's got the great theme song Xanadu, which actually is a really good song. Not as good as Twist of Fate for Two of a Kind, which also had Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta, and by the way needs a good release because it doesn't have a really good release. And I love Two of a Kind. Xanadu Escape. But I was searching for this one for a long time, and I finally found it at HMV's. But look at that! I love this. Even purple's my favorite color. Thank you, Chris. You do too. So there we go. With my voice almost gone, and 103 minutes in, we have gotten through a lot of my Blu-ray collection, but not everything. So you will see another one of these. And if you do want me to do the DVDs as well, because I got a lot of DVDs, everything from musicals to film noir to horror, to sci-fi to action, I can do that as well. So we will get the Blu-rays done. We will do the DVDs. We'll get through the whole library. I am Aaron. You are the Call to Cinema. You guys rock. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And Chris, I'll be honest, you really inspired getting this one made tonight because you're the last person that mentioned this as well. Laserdisc, I do Laserdisc one as well. We'll go through the whole thing. I got like VHS and everything, so we'll get through them all. For those that came in here for the first time, please come back and join us again. Yeah, please give the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Have a great evening, because for me right now, my voice is going. You just catch us on the end there. Dasuki, check out his channel. He's the king of Criterion, 100%. I will see you guys next time, because it is time for tea. Thank you.